Hi there, Lisa Fox here with Green Fox Farms Designs. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet my Sweet Stripes Friendship Square. This pattern is free on my blog, and I'll put a link to that down below if you'd like to follow along. So to begin with, we need to chain 31 stitches with worsted weight yarn of your choice and an eye hook, which is a 5.5 millimeter hook. So I've already gone ahead and chained 31. For the first row, I am going to work in the second chain and each chain across to create 30 single crochets. This pattern was created as part of a crochet along organized by Sunflower 2 Crochet. And the crochet along consists of 40 different crochet squares that you can put together to create an Afghan. It's a really fun experience, and I was so excited to be chosen to join in. So once we have finished our first row of single crochet, then we are going to create our next row, which is another row of single crochet. So for mine, I am using one of my favorite yarns, which is Red Heart Sweet Stripes Ombre. It comes in a lot of different colors that are some of my favorites. I really like Spearmint, which is what this sample square was made with. I'm currently working with purple. They have Violet, which is another shade of purple. Jazzy, which is a bright pink. There's Coral, lots of colors to choose from. However, you can use any worsted weight yarn that you like for this pattern. Just gonna finish. It's okay if you're getting a little bit of curl. That will work itself out. And when you're done with the square, I do recommend that you go ahead and block it, because you're gonna end up with the best results that way. Now, depending on the type of yarn you use, you may want to steam block or wet block. But either way, you're going to be happier with your results if you go ahead and block it. This square has not been blocked. And you can see that the edges are curling up a little bit. So, okay. Now that we've done 2 rows of single crochet, we're going to straighten out our curly Q here. Now we're going to start working on the double crochet row. So to start, you turn and chain 3. And the chain 3 on the double crochet rows does always count as a stitch. So we're going to DC in the same stitch there, skip the next 3 stitches, and then we're going to start our cluster where we put 4 double crochets in the same stitch. 2, 3, and 4. And you're going to end up with a little inverted triangle there, and then you're going to have a triangle space as well. Now we're going to skip the next 3 stitches, and then we're going to continue this repeat across. So we make 4 double crochets in the same stitch, and skip the next 3 stitches, and just repeat that across. And these 2 rows that you have worked now, the single crochet and the double crochet clusters, is all you need to know how to do to create this square. So I will show you what we're going to do when we reach the end, so that we end up with a nice even edge. As you can see, that first one, we only did 2 stitches there. So we're going to mirror that at the end. So 3. Okay, so when we come to this end, you'll see that we actually have 2 stitches left. So what we're going to do is we're going to work 3 double crochets in the second to last stitch here. 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to put 1 double crochet in the last stitch. And what this allows us to do is, when we're working subsequent rows, we want our clusters to be worked in between the others, alternating, and that's what this half of a cluster here allows us to do. So now we're going to chain 1 and turn, and we're going to repeat the first 2 rows. So we're going to do 2 rows of single crochets here. Making sure to work 1 single crochet in each stitch. You'll have 30 stitches on each row. That will not change from row to row. When you're in the end. Now remember, because that chain 3 counts as a stitch, we need to put our last stitch in the top of that chain 3. So do that here. Chain 1 and turn. Now we're going to work our second row of single crochet. To the end. All right, so we chain 1 and turn, and now you'll see that we are at the opposite end from where we had our previous half a cluster. So we're going to do the same as before. So I already chained 1, so I'm going to chain 2 more, and I'm going to do 1 double crochet in the same stitch. I'm going to skip the next 3 stitches, and I'm going to work my next cluster right here. Just like before, we're going to work 4 DC clusters all the way across until we get to the end, and then we will end this row in the same way as the previous double crochet row, where we put 3 double crochets in the second to last stitch and 1 double crochet in the last stitch. And that just simply allows us to balance out our stitches without having any gaps, so that you have a fairly smooth edge. You're not going to have a perfectly smooth edge. You can fix a lot of this with blocking. I have not blocked this square, but I will before I make the rest of my afghan. So, okay, we're just about there. So that is all there is to the repeats. You're just going to be creating the same series of 3 rows repeating of 2 rows of single crochet and 1 row of double crochet clusters. And we're going to go ahead and make 26 rows in total. And I'm going to go ahead and continue to work this up. I'll put it in a time lapse from here, and then I'll just show you at the end. So I'm going to keep working. All right, we just have 3 rows left to complete. We're going to do 1 more of the double crochet cluster rows and then 2 more single crochet rows to finish off our square. I just wanted to pause here to show you how everything's working up and just to review the stitches one more time in case anyone's following along that's still learning, just so I can be as much help as possible and to show you how I like the color transitions in this yarn. That's one of my favorite things about this yarn is you get the slow transition, and I just really love how it works up. So, okay, so this is our double crochet row. We started off with 3 chains as our first stitch. I'm going to work 1 more double crochet into that same stitch. Okay. And then we're going to skip 1, 2, 3 stitches and work a cluster of 4 double crochets all into the same stitch here. 2, 3, and 4. We have our nice little space there. We're going to continue to skip 3 and work 4 double crochet stitches in a cluster. We're going to repeat this pattern all the way across, skip 3, 4 double crochet, and skip 3, 4 double crochet, to the end here. And then, if you recall, for our final cluster, we're going to work in the second to last stitch 3 double crochets, and work the final double crochet into this last stitch so we don't have any gaps. We have a nice, fairly smooth edge, which you can finish off by blocking. I'm going to chain 1, turn, and I'm going to work my last 2 rows of single crochet, making sure at the end of this row here to put a single crochet in the top of the chain 3 because that is our first stitch. So just working 1 single crochet in each stitch across. So, I would love to know what y'all think of the pattern and this tutorial. This is my first pattern tutorial, so I would love to know if you found it helpful, if there's other things that you'd like to see that I can do, to make things more clear. And I'd love to know if you're participating in the crochet along for the friendship blanket, how that's going. Are you enjoying it? Do you have any favorite squares that you've made? I'd love to hear all about it in comments. So please share your experience. This is my first time participating in something like this, and it's really been a lot of fun to connect with all the crocheters and designers and everybody involved. And if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of the pattern and everything down below. I would love to chat with you. And I have linked the pattern, which is free on my blog, Green Fox Farms Designs. That's linked down below. So we are done. After I completed my last stitch, I just fasten off, which for me is just another chain. I will cut yarn, and that's it. All you need to do now is block your square, and you are ready to add it to the rest of your blanket. So I hope you enjoyed this. I sure appreciate you watching, and have a fantastic day. Thank you. Bye.